Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Whisky Diaries. I'm your host Martin Lang, and today at Death and Taxes we're gonna go and talk about how to drink whiskey. I know it seems pretty simple, straightforward. You just pour it in a glass and you drink it, but sometimes there's a little bit of things that are a little bit more complicated and more complex, considering how interesting and how complex whiskey can be. Now, this particular whiskey that we're gonna try is a 1992 vintage 26-year-old Glenronach. The reason why I call it vintage is because in this particular whiskey they put the year in which it was bottled. So in the year that it was distilled actually, and then they put in the label as well the year that it was bottled. This was distilled in 1992 and bottled in 2019, so that makes it a 26-year-old. Glenronach, as I talked in previous episodes, is a heavily sherry whiskey. This one finished in pour pipes. Pour pipes mean being poured as in 45 wine, so it adds an extra sweetness to the whiskey. This whiskey and these releases are actually cask strength, so it's 49.3% alcohol. The reason why I picked this whiskey as well is because it changes the way you should approach drinking this whiskey and how you nose it and stuff, and that's what we're going to go through now. Now, the first whiskey that you want to try, especially when it's this strong, you don't want to add 30 mils or 45 mils straight away. What I usually do is just put a little bit on there, like maybe 10 to 15 mils, just to make sure that you get the right idea for this whiskey. Now, being as strong as it is, when you put 15 mils and stuff, you allow it to all the aromas just to actually come through to the top, and then you can smell it from the top. You don't want to put your nose straight in, because actually alcohol is numbing, and it will numb all your nose, and then after that you're not going to be able to smell too much. So after that, you smell it, you have a little sip, and then from that you give it a scale from 1 to 10. 1 being the softest and 10 being the strongest. This whiskey is actually quite strong, so being a 49.3% alcohol, I will give this probably like a 7 or an 8. And then after that, you count. You grab a dropper. You can buy this on eBay, or you can buy this sometimes at supermarkets and stuff. It's basically just a normal style dropper that sometimes you can buy in a pharmacy. And then this one is really good to actually get some filtered water, or as neutral as water as you can get, and then put it on the fridge. Cold water actually makes it a little bit better for the whiskey, just to lower the temperature a little bit. And then after that, so as I said, I gave it an 8 scale from 8 out of 10. So I would say it's 8 drops, and then after that, you would do 1 for luck. So in this case, I would do 9 drops. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you have to be aware as well that you have to add water. If you have more whiskey than 15 mils and you have like 30 or 40 mils, you probably need to add more water to it, because this is just basically what it does is just opens up the whiskey. But if you put more whiskey, obviously you'll need a little bit more water. This is a rough idea anyway, and you can add more water or less water depending on how you like your whiskey. But this one again is just for that first whiskey. If you ever buy, like it's the first whiskey you ever tried and you never tried this one before, you want to do this method just to give you a really good idea of what the potential is with water and without. So after that, you nose again, and you will see that the whiskey opens up a lot more aromas that were hidden before on the alcohol content. So water, what it does, it just actually interacts with the alcohol and actually brings up a lot of aromas that usually are hidden. Now you smell it again, and you'll see that the aromas change. And then again, you'll see that actually the alcohol that was hiding flavors before actually opens up with the water. Now, I'm not going to tell you what flavors these have. It's just basically, I believe that every whiskey should be tasted by yourself, and it's a very subjective experience. So what I taste could be completely different to you. This for me is a very, very beautiful whiskey, very tannic, very strong, but actually so complex so you can literally just sit, and it just reminds me of just sitting in front of a fireplace, just drinking whiskey in the cold in the winter. So hopefully you enjoy. If you have any comments or anything, just leave it down below, and Slanjaba.